Hello and welcome to Upstack America's Oracle EBS Financial Functional Training. My name is Bob and I'm the lead senior consultant for Upstack America. And with me today I have Victor, who is also a senior consultant. And today we are handling General Ledger Lesson 43. And Victor, please walk us through.
Thank you, Bob, for the introduction, and welcome to Oracle Financials Functional Training, lesson 43. In this lesson, we are going to continue with running FSG reports, but in this lesson, we are going to see how to create an income statement. In our previous lesson, we saw how to create a balance sheet, and we created a row set and a column set for that, which we already have saved. So in this lesson, we are going to see how to create a different kind of report, which is the income statement. So this is an outlay of, or this is a representation of the kind of report we want to come up with. So an income statement will show your revenue and your expense account, and it will also show you the net income. Okay, so we'll have our row set will determine the accounts that we are going to show, and we are going to have one row definition for revenue accounts. Then we are going to have another row definition with the expense accounts, and then we are going to have a row definition with the net income. Now the difference is going to be that for the revenue accounts and the expense accounts row definitions, we are going to use account assignments, okay, to assign the accounts that are going to be the values that are going to be displayed here, okay. But for the net income row definition, we are going to use calculations, because the net income is going to come from subtracting the expenses from the revenue, okay. So when we are doing our third row for the net income, it is going to be a calculation row, and we are going to see how to do that. And we are going to subtract expenses from revenue to get net income. Our column set is going to show periods, just as the previous one, but we are going to change the amount types to PTD instead of YTD, like we did in the balance sheet. So since this is the income statement, then we are going to do PTD amounts instead, okay? So let's head on over to Oracle. Okay, I have to open Mozilla. So I'm going to log in. And I'm going to log in as Mascani Group super user. So let's go and do the first thing that we need to do, which is to create our row set. So let's go to reports, define, then row set. Okay, so this is our row set window. So we can call this Mascani income statement. And we can call this the row set RS. Okay, so we can save that. And from here, we can go and define our rows. So the first row definition is going to be for revenue accounts. And then we're going to go and click on the account assignments. And here we are going to enter the accounts that we want displayed for this row definition. Okay. So the ledger will be our Mascani Group US ledger. This should be in US dollars. This second one here. So for the company, let's do the whole range. So Mascani developers all the way through to the elimination company. Okay. So in our balance sheet report, we did just for company one, and we can go and change in our row set and change the range. Okay. So revenue accounts should be in the 4000 series. So sales and revenue all the way through to so let's just say 4099 because that will cover all the four series, okay, or 4000 series, which are the revenue accounts, okay. And let's explode this so that we can see the values for each account, and we'll also see the total. So we'll do both. For the division, let's do the whole range also. For the department, let's do default all the way through to 40. What we have. Program, we can do 00. We have never used any program value apart from 00, and future, let's use 0000. So we have done our first account assignments for the first row definition, which is the revenue accounts, okay? And we can save that. So let's go and create our second row definition, which is 20, and this will be the expense accounts. And let's do the account assignments. Choose your ledger, should be your primary ledger. For the company, let's do Mascani developers through to the elimination company. So now this we can call it a consolidated report, correct? Because we are doing the report for the whole enterprise, including the subsidiary for the Gitao enterprise, which was acquired and for which we did consolidation. So these are expense accounts which should fall in the 5000 series. And as you can see, expense there. And we're just going to do this to 5999, the end of the 5000 series, which represents our expense accounts. And let's explode the accounts so that we can see both the total for each account and we can see the values for each account and the total at the bottom. So for the division, let's do the same as the other accounts. So that will be all the way to 103. For department should be 00 all the way to 40, and the rest of the segments should be 00. That's good. We have done our second row definition and we can save that. Now let's go to the third row definition, which is net income. Okay. So net income, we said, is going to come from what? Revenue minus expenses. So there are no accounts to be assigned. So we are going to use calculations instead. So when you do calculations, this is the screen that you get. Okay. And we have experienced a situation like this where we have to enter calculations. So the first line of the sequence, the operator should be enter. Okay. I remember I explained to you that we do this as if it's a calculator. So in a calculator, for example, if you're doing 10 multiplied by 2, first you enter the value 10, and then now you enter the operator, which is a multiplication, and then now the second value 2. So it's the same way we are doing here. So we are entering the first value, which will be obtained from a certain row definition. So what we want to do is we want to subtract expenses from revenue accounts, correct? So here we are going to enter the sequence number for our revenue accounts, which is 10. Sequence 10. Remember when we are doing our row definitions for revenue accounts, it was 10. Then for expense accounts, it was 20. Okay, so those numbers are the ones that I'm using here. So you want to do revenue accounts, so enter the sequence number for the revenue accounts, which will take the total for the revenue account, and then for the second line here, 20, choose the operator, which should be minus, because we want to subtract the expense accounts. Okay, and the expense accounts, you know, the sequence numbers you can see from the top here. Sequence number is 20. So that's how you enter the formula. If you had a row name, you can use, instead of using the sequence numbers, for example, we can use here, put in here revenue accounts, or here expense accounts. This is just an identification. Okay, it's the same as this 10 that we've entered here. If we enter a range here, let's say 10 through 20, means, for example, we would sum the total here of 10 and 20, the rows that are represented by those sequence numbers, and then subject it to whatever operator and to the value in the second line. So we can have 10 through 20 minus, if we had another line, 30. If we had a row set that was in that format, okay? But basically, our third and final row definition is complete. So this says that we should subtract expenses from revenues. Okay, so we can save this and close. So we have, this is our row definitions, the revenue accounts and the expense accounts. They have the account assignments, and we have told the system how to obtain the values for the net income row. So our row set is complete. So what is the other thing that we need to create now? We need to create a column set. So let's go to reports, requests, reports define, then column set. So we can call our new column set Maskani income statement column set. You can have that as a description too. And we can go and select this build column set option. And you remember how we build our columns. So let's go back to the slides and see what we are creating. So we are going to assume that this third column here will be showing the period of interest or the current period, the one we are doing the report for. And so this second one will be an offset of -1, or it will be the period before that. And this first column here will be offset of -2, or the 2 periods before the active period. So sequence here should be 10. First column, the offset will be -2. Amount type, we are going to do PTD actual. Let's add a new column, 20. We also want this to show PTD actual. The offset of this is going to be -1. Let's do our third column, 30. We also want this to show PTD actual. The offset of this, because it's going to be the active period, is going to be 0. After we've done that, we can come and now create the default heading. So this is what will show us the headings for these columns. It will be showing that the column is showing PTD actual. This is a macro that represents the period of interest -2. So whatever period of interest will be, we will select. So if we run this for October, this third column will show October, which is the period of interest with offset 0. This one will show the period of interest -1, which is October, -1, which is September. And this one will show period of interest -2, which is October, -2, which is August. So we expect to see values showing PTD values for revenues, expenses, and net income for August 2018, September 2018, and October 2018, as per this column set that we have built, right? So we can save our column set and close this. So we have defined our column set. We have defined our row set. The only thing now we need to define is the report. Of course, you can go to reports, then define, then report, or we can just go straight from this column set window here and select define report. We want to create a new report for income statement. So we're going to call this Maskani income statement. You can have that as the title and the description too. We can go ahead and select the row set. put in Maskani, press tab. Now we have two row sets with Maskani name. One is a balance sheet and the other one is income statement. So we want income statement, select that. Here is also Maskani. We should have two, one for income statement and the other one for balance sheet. We want the income statement, select that. So those are the two components of our report, and they're the two required components. We still don't have the optional components, so we can go ahead and run the report. So here again, you come to this window. You have different tabs, optional components, other options, and this window here for the required parameters. All our required parameters are there. That's the name of the report we want to run. That's the ledger. We want to do this for October, and we want to do this in USD. So when you click submit, you get this request ID. So let's copy that and go to the SRS screen. Specific request, request ID, Control V, and find. So our report was completed, and it looks like it was completed normally without any errors. So let's view output. So this is how our report came out. You can see our revenue accounts. So it says these are the revenue accounts that were active in this period. Okay. The display is still not very user friendly, and we are going to see how to change some of those things. So let's take a small break. So so this is the report that we created. I just wanted to make sure that everything was fine, and I wanted to know why these numbers are being displayed. So it might be a bit confusing because we have company numbers with we have a company 004 and we have a company 005, but it might be a bit confusing. But like I said, this is because of the format of the report. So what we are seeing is a truncated account number. So this might be account number 004,000. This might be account number 004,100. But since because of how the report is formatted at the moment, we can't be able to tell. Now, using the features such as display set, we can modify how this account looks like. We can say which segments to be shown, because on this report you can see, for instance, we have a ledger column here, we have company, we have account, we have division. So we can hide all these columns using the display set, and even expand the width of this particular account column so that we can see the whole account number, and that way the report will be meaningful. Because for instance, for now, we know this is a 4 series account, but we don't know which account it is. Okay, so those are things that we are going to learn as we go on to look at other features, the optional components such as the content set. So we have seen how to create our income statement, and Bob Unless you have something to add, we can end our lesson there.
All right, thank you, Victor. Now, I wanted to add something about these reports. When you go out there to the client and start doing the implementation, you will probably won't have to, do these FSG reports. They are a bit old school. Not many clients really go with these reports currently, because there's so many really nice tools out there that a client can buy that can be integrated with the Oracle system, and the system can end up producing really nice analytical reports. Okay, there's tools like, for example, Hyperion, which can show some really good, really good reports. And a lot of companies, they are trying to, a lot of clients, they tend to move away from all these TXT reports, because as you can see, they don't look that pretty. So, there's other ways of making sure that a company can run better reports than these FSG reports. Okay, so it's good to know how to do this. Okay, but most likely you won't be doing these FSG reports when you're out there implementing for the client. You'll be working on other tools that can be able to produce similar, better reports. And for now, as a consultant, you don't really have to be an expert in those tools. As long as you're good in Oracle, then you should be fine as far as doing the implementation for the general ledger. Okay. All right, so that's what I wanted to say, Victor, and I think we can add now.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.